Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the often confusing world of corporate filings. Today we're diving into a report from Calumet Inc. and it's not about fancy chemicals or anything like that. It's about who got voted in and how much executives get paid. Seems simple, but stick around because even simple things can have sneaky details. Before we jump in, if you like getting straight to the point with these corporate filings, make sure you're subscribed. We also have a Discord community linked in the description below where you can chat about this and other reports. So this report is a Form 8K and it's all about what happened at Calumet's annual meeting of stockholders in June of 2025. Basically, it's a recap of the votes that took place on different proposals. Not the most exciting thing, but it shows what the owners of the company, the stockholders, think about how things are being run. There were 4 proposals on the table at this meeting. First up was the election of directors. These are the people who sit on the company's board, kind of like the captains of the ship. They make big decisions about where the company is headed. Stockholders got to vote on who they wanted to be on the board. 4 people were up for election: Jack Boss, Stephen Mara, Karen Narwold, and Julio Quintana. These folks were all elected to serve until the annual meeting in 2028. That means they've got a few years to steer the ship. Looking at the votes, most shareholders voted for, although some withheld their vote. This means they didn't want to vote for the nominees. Also important to note, there were a large number of broker non-votes, around 26 million. Basically, it means that for some shareholders, their brokers didn't vote on the proposal. Next, we have a vote on executive compensation, that is, how much the big bosses get paid. This vote is advisory, meaning the company doesn't have to listen to it. However, it still tells the company what the owners think. The results show that most stockholders were okay with the executives' pay. About 41 million people voted for compared to almost 1 million against. Still, this is a substantial vote against the pay packages offered. The third proposal was about how often stockholders get to vote on executive pay. This is another non-binding advisory vote on frequency. Most folks, about 41 million, voted to have this vote every year. The company said that based on this vote, it plans to hold these votes annually going forward unless they later decide that something else is better. Finally, there was a vote to ratify the selection of Grant Thornton L. as the company's independent accounting firm. These are the guys who check the company's financial statements to make sure everything looks right. The stockholders overwhelmingly approved this choice. It looks like Grant Thornton LL will be keeping the books straight for Calumet. Now, looking at the bigger picture based on this filing, it seems like Calumet's stockholders are generally on board with the direction the company is going. The election of directors, the approval of executive compensation, and the ratification of the accounting firm all passed without major opposition. No big red flags are obvious to me. Of course, it would be nice to see fewer broker non-votes and a clearer consensus on executive compensation, but overall, this report shows a pretty stable situation. Alright, that's our breakdown of Calumet's latest Form 8K. What's your take on these votes and what they might signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of corporate filings. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.